see and hear us. Hey. All right. And then, pulling up the recording. There we go. Who is ready to start the show? Jesse, are you ready?
Yes.
David, are you ready?
I like that you say, like, who's ready to start, and then go by name by name. I am ready, yes.
I like doing it. John, are you ready? I think John might be preoccupied for a moment here.
He looks like he might not be.
Yeah. So,
You could be pooping.
speaking of pooping, I couldn't find the stupid little stool sample thing I was supposed to use for the dog's poop today to take her to the vet.
Speaking of pooping.
So,
Did you use like a popsicle stick?
no, well, nope. Vet's just got a Ziploc bag full of poop.
Okay.
Here you go.
All right, I think I'm ready.
All right, cool.
Hell of a time to ask. I uploaded bonus music, right?
Yes.
Okay. I've had the same bonus music for like 3 weeks. I just wanted to make sure that I still uploaded it.
All right. So yeah, here comes the countdown. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I need to pull up the soundboard. Sorry. That's always like the very last thing I do since it takes over so much of my keyboard. And then there's one more connect thing. Soundboard. Let's connect that to that. Boop 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 boop. Okay. Double check things here.
Game 1.
Okay, great. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to Gain That Tune.
Oh, yeah. What's going on, everybody? It is Game That Tune, and we are back in the house once again. It's your boy, the steamed crab, John Harrington here. I got John Regan with me, the Crab King. Or is it King Crab?
Both. It depends whether I'm a crab or the king of crabs.
Right. But I'm asking you. You're supposed to know this as crab royalty. Are you the Crab King, or is Crab King the crab, or is King Crab the crab?
King Crab is the crab, and I'm Crab King of crabs, so I'm the Crab King Crab. No, I'm
Gotcha.
the King Crab King? God, that's hard
So-
to say.
King Crab King?
I feel like this may get brought up in the episode as we discuss carcinization, but king crabs are not technically biologically crabs.
Wait, what?
Do they taste good dipped in butter?
Well, yeah.
Well, then they're crabs.
Okay.
I
Also
appreciate
crabs?
you getting whatever point that was out of the way early, David. I'm not
Haven't
going to stand for that kind of crab discussion.
Haven't we talked about this before?
Are we not going to bring up carcinization? I was super excited to do so on the show. This is a real thing. I am not making this up. Carcinization is a phenomenon in convergent evolution in which animals that are not crabs keep evolving bodies like crabs.
Ooh.
Like, again, I'm not making this up. You can look this up. Like ticks. Ticks are not crabs, but they have a round, flat body with legs on either side. Like, for whatever reason, animals keep evolving into crabs. Like, you may not like it, but this is the ideal body type for the planet Earth.
Do you think we were going to bring it up in the intros?
Yeah, I was going to say, this is the longest it's taken.
Do you
for
think
me
I
to
was
say,
going to bring
hey.
it up before I fucking introduced Jesse?
Quick bit.
Maybe we're all becoming crabs. I don't know.
Oh, I'm becoming a crab. That's the theme for tonight. I'm not happy with how this has started.
Come on. I got a good one. What's it called, David?
Carcinization?
Linification.
Reasons David gets kicked off the show. You know, the Johnny Carson bit, come on.
Oh, I know. Timely.
Yep, that's Jesse Moore with the timely Johnny Carson reference. Say hey.
Hey,
And David, your Carsonization expert here in the intro, yet to introduce himself. Say hey.
Hey, I just figured we would start talking about crabs from the get-go. Again, seriously, look this up. I am not bullshitting you.
David, the issue isn't we think you're
What
bullshitting
makes you
us.
think I think you're bullshitting? You know,
John is
of course
so
you're not
crabby.
bullshitting. You're you. Like you're not just pulling shit out of your ass to like fucking like, of course you know what you're talking about. It's timing, David. It's we literally didn't get through. Like,
Don't put the
saying
crab
hey.
before the cart.
Yes. My God. It's Game That Tune, where we listen to video game music, and the episode
Talk about
theme
crabs.
is selected by the winner. And Johnny won last week's episode. And Johnny almost picked the theme of funky games, which in hindsight, I really should have just let him have it. I can't believe I fucking, stepped to him and denounced funky games because it landed us on this theme. Johnny, what's the theme tonight?
Crab games.
Crab games.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
I don't 100% remember how I came on that theme last time.
You live in Baltimore, Johnny.
Yeah,
it was just bound to happen.
I think I was
So
looking
I had-
around and saw a crab somewhere.
So I actually re-listened to the end of that episode today to try to figure out like where did this theme come from, and it came from you saying funky games and John basically saying like that's not a real theme, and you said fine, crab games.
All right,
Right.
so yeah, right on my ass.
Yeah. No, because again, like funky games is literally a free play. It could be any game ever if you just declare it funky. You ask me if a game's funky, it could be funky. You ask me if a game has a crab in it, well, that narrows it down.
Now you gotta do some research.
But yeah, no, like you got what is Tetris funky? Yeah, sure, why not?
No.
Incredibly.
See,
I might beg to differ, but
No.
apparently I'm not allowed to bring up discussions in our intro, so
David, you could have prevented this whole thing by being a part of the last third of last week's show, but that didn't happen either. So we've got crab games. So we're starting off with a great mood. There's a real great vibe. There's a scientific put upon teacher vibe from David. There's me not standing for any of this shit this episode.
Everyone's
Let's,
very crabby
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to be a hell of an
and
episode.
snippy.
Let's get some Old Bay going. Let's sprinkle some Old Bay on everything, or JO seasoning, if you know, you know. That's the Old Bay alternative. The
You just said if you know, you know. No one was
Yeah.
asking.
Well, now we know.
why would there be an alternative to Old Bay?
David. Oh, David.
If you know, you know,
If you-
usually means don't fucking explain it. Johnny. God. We got 5 great games, hopefully. And, man, let's crack into these things, man.
No.
Game 1.
All right. So in this game, one of the accessibility options um, gives your character the option to have a gun or not. All right, guys. Let's see some answers. All right, so Johnny says gun bay. That's incorrect. David says crab fight. That's incorrect. And John with the correct answer, another crab's treasure.
Oh,
Come
this
on,
is that
guys.
game that like just came out, right?
Yeah,
It's the
so
one that came out in like tandem with this theme. Real
So-
quick before we even get to it, Johnny, did you have any idea when you set the theme of crab games that there would be a high-profile crab Souls-like coming out the next day?
Nope.
Okay, just making sure you don't read the internet.
I
Nope.
was actually going to making confession on this in the show, which is dangerous sometimes. But I had actually messaged Johnny. I was like, "Hey, I know that this is probably just like I'm Johnny and I'm thinking about crabs, so let's do crab game and not I'm up on new releases." And he was like, "Oh yeah, I have no idea what games come out." And I was like, "Okay, just checking." So I did
Mhm.
have a moment of weakness where I was slightly worried that he was going to pick this game.
Well, I
I
mean,
mean,
there's also the slight concern that, like, Johnny could get wind of this in the 2 weeks leading up to Crab Night, and being, the Crab King himself, think, hey, I should play that because it's actually like a really accessible Souls-like. Like this could be Johnny's introduction to fucking like Elden Ring for all we know.
Well,
But
it's funny because like some of this garbage and stuff in the ocean is named different things, but it's like, oh, it's that. So like the Old Bay variant is called Elden Bay. So that
very
tickled
good.
me.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
I do feel like it's kind of a safe bet that if it's a new game, and by new I mean post 2000, Johnny hasn't heard of it.
Yeah, that's fair. It's yeah. My last new console was a PS2.
Yeah, get his ass,
you have a
David.
Switch.
Oh, I do have a Switch. Oh my god. It's literally right here next to me on my desk from when we did Mario Kart 8 last week.
Right.
Confirmed, Johnny has no concept of time.
That's also true.
Just saying. He chose crab theme, and then there was crab game. Maybe he knew that somehow, but he didn't. Jesse knew because Jesse has Game Pass, and this game's on Game Pass, and it's crab game.
This game is excellent, y'all. Right now it's I've been having so much fun with it. It's very fucking brutal. I will say, um, I think it might be harder than Elden Ring in my opinion, with the exception of the accessibility options I mentioned. Um, so typically what I'll do, this is just me, is I kind of play it like I did play Elden Ring, where when I find a boss, I will fight it as many times as it takes to either kill it or get insanely frustrated. And then in Elden Ring, I would usually just, summon some person off the internet that is probably way better at the game, and he would come help me defeat a boss. Or in this game, I just give Krill a gun, and then he has a fucking like Glock 9 on his back, and you just fucking fire a shot into whatever you're fighting, and it's just dead. Like, it's great.
That's good. So I mean, so yeah, like you give the crab a gun. It's not like okay, now you've got like a new weapon. It's like what
No,
happens if you shoot a
yeah.
like underwater
If
like
you
sea
went
life with a
underwater
gun?
and shot a crab with a gun,
Yeah, cool.
that'd be so fucked up.
Dude,
It's not like oh, I got this like easy weapon. It's like no, you actually fucking
No,
blew a
it's dead.
crab away with a gun.
imagine bringing a gun to a crab knife fight.
That's the idea. Yes.
Yeah.
See, all of this makes me think of some weird, like, Ratchet and Clank weapon where you have a gun that shoots crabs wielding
Oh.
knives.
No, it's just a gun on your back, and it's proportionate size. So like you're like a little hermit crab, so it's like this big fucking eyesore on your back, and you just fire the whatever you're fighting.
Awesome.
I killed this
Nice.
like lobster thing today, and it's so cool. Okay, so like the whole like thing of the game is, um, the ocean is polluted. I don't know if you guys know this. Um,
In the game.
yeah, well, and in real
Oh,
life.
okay.
And so in the game, and so like you're not even really aware of all this. You're a hermit crab hanging out on the beach with your shell, and then those little like grabber things with like it'll be like a shark's head on it, and like you pull the little like lever and it like opens and closes, and you can like
Oh,
bite your
yeah.
bite your sister or someone with it, and they're like, oh, get away.
When you were describing a hermit crab and grabbers, I thought you were trying to struggle to explain pinchers, but then
No,
you said
no, I was
shark's head.
explaining.
I'm like, no, okay, wait, no, I see he's going somewhere else.
Yeah, so this thing pops up out of the water, and he's like, "Hey, did you know that this is now ruled by the Duchess of I forget what it was called, the place, but." And you're like, what does that even mean? And he's like, have you been paying taxes? And he's like, no, I'm a hermit crab. And he's like, well, you better start paying taxes. We deal in microplastics. Do you have any? And he's like, no, I'm a hermit crab. And so then he just takes your shell, and he's like, well, I'm taking this until you can afford to buy it back. And so then you like go chasing after him, um, and you go and talk to the Duchess, and she tells you where you can go get a new shell, and it's like a overturned Coke machine, and you like hit the button, and like empty cans come out, and so then that's the first like piece of garbage you start wearing, and like there's so many pieces of garbage you can wear. Um, like one of my favorites is the and I don't know how it works underwater, but it's one of those ice cream cones that you get like in the box, and there's a whole bunch of them. Um, and and everything that you wear on your back has a special ability, an umami ability. Um, and you use when you level up, you use MSG. There's this game is like it's very well written. It's fun. The character Krill, like he's so adorable looking. Any of the conversations you have in the game where he's like acting like shocked or appalled, like look like great emotes that would be good in like a chat thing. Um, like it's so fun. So then you go and get your shell, and that's when like one of the first main bosses shows up, and he's this big fucking shrimp, and he's got like a Slurpee straw with the little Slurpee dome thing as like a jousting thing. Like the use of garbage in the game is so funny and fun. There's these fucking seahorses that shoot those little pills that whenever you put them in water, they expand into dinosaur sponges. Those will fuck you up. There's these like crabs that use like the like those teeth cleaners with the little wire, the floss on them, and like use it as like a bow to like fire toothpicks at you. It's real fucked up. Um, but it's real fun. A lot of platforming. You got a grappling hook thing that you can use to like swing around like these fish hooks and stuff. Um, it is very much a Soulsy game. You talk to this moon snail that levels up cool abilities for you, so you can roll around and dodge or have your umami do more damage and stuff. Which I'm doing an umami build because there's some fun abilities. Like the Coke can will make like bubbles come out and attack your enemies, which is fun. It's just a neat game. It's colorful. But it's very, like I said, it's brutal. Like even just fighting like the normal crabs and stuff, you got to be on your feet. When you go into the sands in between, you can't get too far off the path, or this gigantic fucking crab with like butcher knives tied to his claws comes out, and you don't want none of that guy. It's I recently fought this lobster that he had one of those the things that you get the chopsticks. They're in the little white thing, and he like pulls it out real slow like a katana blade. It just looks so fucking badass. Like it's such a great game. It's funny, it's charming, it's a cool art style, it's colorful, but it's also bleak at the same time because it's fucking about polluting the ocean and it looks all fucked up and stuff. But it's great. Good challenge, but you can adjust the challenge by shooting things in the face.
Nice.
I dig it.
Like most games.
Well, no. You can't just turn on a gun in most games like that. That's kind of thing that's unique to this game.
Imagine.
Well, I mean, I just mean that like shooting things in the face tends to adjust the challenge of a game.
Imagine though if you could. Imagine if you could turn on a shoot things in the face mode in Tetris.
Dr. Mario. Oh. You're on the same page.
What has a face in Tetris?
Everything.
What doesn't?
Yeah. Or yeah,
I think I was playing a different copy of Tetris.
Or in Dr. Mario, yeah, if you could shoot the viruses in the face. That one makes a good deal more sense than my Tetris example.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. It also helps to be playing a game as a character to possess a gun. Tetris doesn't really have those, Johnny.
Well,
The block.
Oh no, the L block is packing for
It's
sure.
shaped like a gun.
I got nothing. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, Tetris wasn't the best choice for that analogy. Or metaphor? No, analogy.
It's called a joke, John. We try to make them sometimes.
Game 2.
right, so in the European releases of this game, the letters that spell out the word Uncola were replaced with letters that spell out the word virgin. All right, who's got some answers? All right, so David wrote Sonic's Surfing Virgin. That's incorrect. Jesse and John wrote Cool Spot. That's correct. This is cool.
Johnny.
What's up?
Did we switch bits or something? Are you upset now?
Yes. So this is Cool Spot for the Sega Genesis. It was placed on the Games Master in 1996. Listed this as 92nd in their top 100 games of all time.
Ooh.
Not the greatest ranking.
I mean, that's 8 better than the least greatest game of all time.
Yeah, and you guys play a Cool Spot?
Yes.
David?
I have a.
I remember playing this game, and I remember playing this game later because I famously did not have a Super Nintendo or a Sega Genesis. But I remember hearing like of all the weird like licensed games because like Chester Cheetah had a game, Yo Noid, all that kind of stuff. I remember hearing Cool Spot was actually pretty decent. So I did track this down and play this when I was in college. And yeah, I remember this being actually a really fun game. Like, it's weird to play as a soda mascot that's a red dot with sunglasses. But this game was actually, I remember it being pretty fun.
Yeah, they actually put some effort into this and made it into a pretty good game. Like, it's just, it's just an ad for 7-Up is what it ultimately is. In Europe, they, like, 7-Up, the Cool Spot wasn't really the logo for the 7-Up brand in Europe. So that's why they replaced the words on Cola with Virgin. They got rid of 7-Up logos and replaced them with the Virgin Games, logo instead. But yeah, there was an era where, companies were really trying to do things to get you to play games based on their brands. You had the Yo Noid game. I mean, well before this, you had the Cool Spot game. I remember there being a what's it called? Cheetos game.
McDonald's had games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pepsi Man.
It took a while, but eventually there were Burger King King games.
Oh yeah, Sneak King and the Pocket Bite game, and there's the third one. I can't remember what the third one is.
Big Bumpin'.
Yeah, Big Bump and something like that. And yeah, pretty good game, pretty good soundtrack. It's by Tommy Tallarico, but I feel like there's a reason Tommy Tallarico sucks now. Is that, or am I thinking of the guy that made Earthworm Jim?
Both.
The guy who made Earthworm Jim.
Both.
Oh, they both suck.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, both
Did something happen to Tommy Tallarico, too?
I don't think something happened to him. I think he did
He's
something.
just a shithead.
Oh, okay. That was the news story that I didn't hear. I apologize.
Oh no. No, he's just a shithead.
Yeah, he just kind of sucks.
But he made the soundtrack to Color a Dinosaur. How could he be a shithead?
He might not have. There's a lot of things we've found out.
Yeah, Jesse knows more than me, but yeah, Tommy Tallarico, his reputation is not evergreen at this point. Yeah, kind of video game music's, I don't know, fucking.
Or like Tommy Talastinko.
I'm trying to think of who is a good reference point for it. Like, who's the elder statesman of something that's just like fucking embarrassing at this point.
So shout out to the radio chat. Somebody just mentioned that he's become a Liefeld-esque character. was like, okay, that's all I need to know. Like,
Oh,
compare
that's
Tommy
much-
Tallarico
right, yeah.
to Rob Liefeld. All right, I got you.
or like
Yeah,
a Ricky
no.
Gervais.
Oh, Ricky
you know,
Gervais, John
Yeah,
Travolta,
that-
Tom Cruise.
See, I feel
Those
like
people are
saying
worse.
Ricky Gervais implies that he's like, I don't know, shitty and transphobic, in which we are talking about the guy that created Earthworm Jim, not Tommy Tallarico.
Oh,
Tommy
I was
Tallarico's
talking about
just-
Tommy Tallarico.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like Tommy Tallarico, he's not like politically problematic or anything. He's just like a fucking douche.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
about to say, it's like, oh, like, John Travolta and Tom Cruise. Like, is Tommy Tallarico a Scientologist?
No.
Hmm.
But let me tell
No.
you about the Amico.
Yeah, I think he gets a lot of shit for being essentially a video game music rock star and thinking very highly of himself, and for taking over the Intellivision Amico and then it failing. But we're also now getting Wikipedia quotes in the chat saying that a lot of the claims against him were gross exaggerations or knowingly false. So I don't really know at this point. I saw he was selling his insane mansion at one point, and it was like on Zillow, and you could see literally how crazy and like just outrageous this guy's mansion was. It looked like some shit that somebody, I don't know, slapped together from their like memories of like Tommy Lee's MTV Cribs. But anyway, I don't know. He did the music for Cool Spot, so yeah. I don't know. Can't be all bad, can he?
Pretty fun music. I like that cover of Wipeout at the end there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that I can't remember if it's the first or second song. One of those songs is like the rave theme from the rave level. 'Cause that's one thing you think of when you think of 7-Up is going to a rave.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Did y'all ever drink DNL?
No, I've never
Not
heard of that.
knowingly.
was
Isn't that
7
the
Up
international
upside down.
shipping service?
No. This was for like it was a while back where they made caffeinated 7-Up, and it was called DNL, and it was fucking really good. It was basically the 7-Up logo, but upside down, so it looked like if you look at it, it's like
Oh, I
DNL.
see.
I get that now. No, I've never heard of this product. It didn't kill anybody like the Panera
No, it
Bread
didn't.
lemonade, did it?
No. It was
That's
back
good.
when there was like that Dr. Pepper Red Fusion and stuff like that.
Oh God. Oh, Code Red.
Yeah.
Well,
I had
that's
Code
Mountain
Red
Dew.
today.
Oh, that is Mountain Dew. Yeah.
Code Red still exists. Every
Yeah.
once in a while, when I want to feel like a kid, I'll buy a bottle of Code Red. I'll get halfway through it and think this was a terrible idea.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that stuff is fucking the sweat of the gods.
I feel the same way every time I fucking make the mistake of actually ordering a Beja Blast at fucking Taco Bell. Huge mistake.
Oh my god! So a friend of mine,
You can't go back.
a friend of mine in Chicago sent me a post on Facebook that was about somebody making a Baja Blast key lime pie. I was like, this infuriates me on so many levels.
Especially the pronunciation.
I mean, it's supposed to be pronounced Baja.
No. It's Beja Blast.
Beja Blast.
Yeah. Always and forever.
It's been Beja Blast since 2005 or so, David. Trust me.
I don't care what Big Taco Bell says. It's Beja Blast. They can put
Yeah.
all the PRs and ads they want.
What
Mhm.
Big Taco Bell? Like, Big Taco Bell is this giant conspiracy thing.
Yes.
Well, they are part of Yum Brands, David. Yes, they are a very large part of a very large multinational food controlling corporation.
Yeah, they're part of
Yeah, but I don't think that they're part of like the Illuminati.
No. But they're definitely. I'm pretty sure they're part of Philip Morris at least, if nothing else.
They want to control what you eat. I mean, I don't know, man.
Don't you remember all those packs of cigarettes you used to get at Taco Bell? Every Beja Blast came with a free pack of Camels.
God, I miss the Verde cigarettes.
God, yeah. Those were such good cigarettes. They would only give you one with each burrito.
You just light the end of the burrito.
God, man. Those were the days. They had to get rid of that 8-layer burrito, the one with the tobacco layer in it. They stuck with 7 layers, though, for a while there. That was pretty good. But anyway, what were we talking about? 7-Up?
Yeah, cool spot for Sega Genesis.
Fun game.
And you fight crabs in it. Okay.
Yes, there
Oh,
are
yeah,
crab
there-
enemies.
Surely there's a crab in this game.
It's just drinking on 7
Not
Up.
one mention of crabs thus far.
7 Up goes really good with some crab cakes.
That is why Rob Liefeld refused to draw crab characters, because he's like, fuck, I have to draw 10 feet. I'm
10
out.
feet. Fuck that.
How do I put a chest on this thing? I don't get
Look at this crab with titties.
Where the boobs go?
it.
Johnny,
We know
please
where
buy
they go.
crabswithtitties.com.
All right, step ahead of you.
Yeah. I mean, crabs are essentially like one huge chest, so really, Rob Liefeld should have been able to draw them. I don't know,
Yeah.
but
Could you imagine like he drew like Cable, but he's a crab?
he kind of did. I mean, I'm telling you, like,
I
look
feel
at those
like
fucking
Rob
drawings. It's
Liefeld's
like a crab's body.
I feel like Rob Liefeld's Cable and Rob Liefeld's Cable as a crab would not be that different.
They're the same picture.
So yeah, I don't have much else to say about Cool Spot.
Who would?
Who got a
Are
point?
we-
John got a point. I think John gets control now.
Oh yeah, are we doing that?
Yeah, we're doing it. We didn't do it the last
You
time.
said
Yeah,
so.
no, exactly. Yeah, we kind of were rolling. Let's see. What are we at? Game 3. Who's gone? You've gone. Jesse's gone. Do I have any idea what's coming besides my game? Let's do the request.
Game 3.
Oh shit! I didn't realize that didn't fade out. Oh, whoops, sorry. All right, guys. So let's see. This game, where was it? This game features 25 playable characters from 17 different franchises. All right, guys. Who's got some answers? All right, John's got an answer. David's got an answer. So Jesse says 51st Crabs, which is that a reference to the movie 51st Dates? Because if so, incredible.
Yes.
And then John and David both say Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl 2, which is correct.
Man, I thought, Jesse, your answer was a reference to Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, just Attack of the 50-Foot Crab.
No.
No. He's talking about the rom-com starring Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore, where Drew Barrymore plays a woman with amnesia, and Adam Sandler has to convince her every day that they've actually fallen in love, which is a hell of a movie, but this is a hell of a game. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. It's got so many interesting choices for the characters. I'm looking at the list of characters. Oh, I'm sorry. This is our fan request from Silver Nova in our Discord, which is a great place to go make fan requests. So thank you, Silver Nova, for the fan request. Soundtrack, pretty good. Got some pretty interesting remixes going on here. My first song was based on Invader Zim. The second was based on Angry Beavers, and the third was SpongeBob. But character choice is pretty interesting. If you were to make a Nickelodeon fighting game and you included characters from Hey Arnold, what characters would you include, John?
I mean, if it's me, how many?
We'll say 2.
2 Hey Arnold characters for Nick. Is it Nicktoons or Nickelodeon All Stars?
Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2.
Nickelodeon All Stars. 2 Hey Arnold characters. I would say Helga and Grandpa.
Okay. Interesting. Jesse?
He's got the balls for the chin.
Probably Arnold, because
maybe Arnold. Okay, yeah, but Helga beats people up.
and the lady, the girl. I guess is it Helga? I didn't watch.
Helga does the back fist on the breathing kid.
Yeah.
And then David, who would you pick as your 2 from Hey Arnold?
If I remember who is actually playable in this game.
Nope. That's not
Nobody
what
asked.
I'm asking. I'm asking who would you put in? Who would you?
Okay,
put in?
well, if it was up to me and I could pick 2 Hey Arnold characters to put in a Smash Brothers fighting game, I would pick Grandpa and Stoop Kid.
Okay, Stoop Kid is a solid choice, actually.
Now that's a deep cut, one-off reference. That's an interesting choice.
Yeah.
I mean, he spends his whole life getting people off of his stoop. He's got a fighting style.
Well, yeah, but he's also afraid to leave his stoop.
Yeah,
Well,
but
that's his stage.
Yeah, I was gonna say make the stage a stoop.
But he can only play on that one stage. He's stage boss. The stage is the stoop.
Right? Yeah, you fight. You play a stoop kid on either stage. You just immediately lose. So, In this game, for the hair on characters, they chose Gerald and Grandma Gertie.
The grandma.
I remember in the first game, Helga was playable. Did she carry over, or did they get rid of her and instead, like, just have Gerald and Grandma?
They got rid of her. It's just Gerald and Grandma. Those are the only two in this game.
That's
Weird.
an interesting choice.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, I mean, like, the grandma's weird enough, but, like, Gerald? What's Gerald got? Like, yeah.
If I remember, so, like, I'm going to tip my hand a bit. I have not played this game, but I was super interested in it. So I was, like, watching a lot of things. If I remember, Gerald's super move is, like, he would tell the story of some random character, like, oh yeah, let me tell you the story of this guy in the neighborhood who got into fights and whatnot. And, like, his story would manifest as beating the shit out of the opponent.
That's interesting. Was that his thing?
He told a lot of stories.
Okay, maybe I'm misremembering him. I thought there was, like, another kid that, like, held a flashlight up. I might be thinking of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
I think you're definitely thinking about Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Man, they don't have any real life shows, I don't think. In this game.
That was my next question. Are there any live action characters in this
Can
game?
you play as Donkey Lips?
Right.
I mean, you know, what an asshole that guy is. God. Awful waffling people.
Oh.
Or Budnick?
Mm-hmm.
God, could
Or
you imagine
Ferguson?
if there was, like, an Are You Afraid of the Dark character and their super move was they just throw the dust into the fire and it burns you to hell?
And then you could have an Ice Climbers type character that's Pete and Pete.
Oh,
Be
God.
bad.
They have a projectile move where Pete shoots one of the presidential marshmallows out of his nose.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They
They
do.
hypnotize
God,
you
that's
and
a
dance you
deep
that
cut
shit.
reference.
Their final smash involves Artie.
So they
Oh,
do.
no, he's
Strongest
gone.
man
You can't bring back
in the
Artie.
world.
That, you know, gotta respect it.
They do
Can't
have
bring him back.
Angry Beavers listed as a playable character, so I'm not sure if that's like an Ice Climber situation or if it's a Pokemon trainer swap the characters around situation. But
No,
they
it's definitely an Ice Climbers. Like, you play as the two of them together.
Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting. Like, you know, Johnny kind of hinted this. You know, it's not Nicktoons All Star Brawl 2. It's Nickelodeon.
But it's all
Because-
Nicktoons, right?
No, it has the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Are they not considered a Nicktoon at this point? Nickelodeon owns that franchise.
They own it, but I don't like. I feel like when I hear Nicktoons, I think of shows they made, right? Like,
Well,
Doug,
yeah, but I
Ren
mean,
and
they
Stimpy.
bought it, and
Yeah.
then now they make it. Like,
That's the thing. Like, Nickelodeon owns the rights to the Ninja Turtles, but it's not the, like, Nickelodeon produced Ninja Turtles from, like, 2012 in this game. It's the fucking, like, 80s Ninja Turtles who are playable in this game.
Yeah.
well, they know who their fucking target demographic is. Then it's not actual kids; it's 30 to 45-year-old kids.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Like, they are.
God,
Like, you look at this and you think, oh, it's for kids, and then you see Garfield is in this. You see the Ninja Turtles from the 80s are in this. Wait a minute, hold on.
Anyone from Eureka's Castle?
No, nobody from Euchre's Castle, which was also not a Nicktoon. That was a puppet show.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
that was
just
a,
trying
that was
to-
a
I mean,
live
like, that
action
was
Nick Jr. puppet show for like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
year.
That
And
was
then-
like an original Nickelodeon show, though.
Mr.
I
Wizard.
watched the shit out of
Wait, I don't know.
Eureka's
I don't.
Castle.
Yeah, wait. I don't know why I'm giving you shit for it not being Nicktoon because this game is not called Nicktoons. It's
Yeah, you
Nickelodeon.
fucking idiot.
Damn it.
Mr. Wizard would be good.
Oh my God, Mr. Wizard would be an amazing character.
Keep going older, Jesse. Choose something that was on before Mr. Wizard.
Ooh, Lassie. Lassie would
Yeah.
come on before Mr. Wizard. when-
God,
Yeah,
That's
could you imagine if you could play as Flipper?
Yeah,
that's the
Flipper
next
was
sequel,
on too.
man. Fucking next one, All Star Brawl. It's gonna be Nick at Night All Star Brawl.
Oh god.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
hold
all
on. That actually
looking
sounds
for it.
pretty great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking Lucy.
I love Lucy Battle Royale.
Oh my
Could you
god.
Dyke. Ah.
Could you imagine
Oh,
if there
man.
was a Nick at Night game and one of the stages was the couch from Snick?
Yes.
Well, why would that be a Nick at Night thing? It's
Yeah,
Nick.
that's-
What are you
Well,
Well, it
Yeah,
was
wait a
Saturday
minute.
Night Nick.
Yeah, but it's not Nick at Night.
Those are two different lineups, David. I'm sorry. I got it.
Okay,
like
but the
practically
point that I'm
different
trying
channel.
to get is Snick was a nighttime Nickelodeon thing.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. The big orange
Yeah.
couch should be a stage, yes, but like it wouldn't feature Nick at Night.
A lot of fighting games have guest characters, so they could have the Snick Couch as a guest character.
God, imagine
See, I was
fighting.
thinking
Wait, it's a
stage, but
character
now
now?
the couch is a character.
It's
Oh,
like
I
a
thought
horny
you
car
wanted
in
more.
fucking Fighters Megamix.
Yeah, no, I was-
the
I
couch
was-
is beating ass.
I was just picturing being Desi Arnaz beating ass
See,
on the
that's what I'm
couch.
talking
you
about.
got some splaining to do. He just starts
Mhm.
beating people
What are
up.
you doing at the show?
Oh God, Desi Arnaz beating up Lassie? Yes, please.
Plays
Look at God, what what are the neighbors in I Love Lucy? I'm just picturing a final smash
Oh,
where like
Ethel?
Uh, Fred and Ethel.
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah,
Okay.
where like Fred's pants like eat the other player. They just keep on going up, and they eventually just eat, consume the fellow players. This is I'd play
Now-
that.
Is TV Land like an extension of Nick at Night?
No,
Okay, so it's not related at all.
they do their own original programming now, and it's just it's lost the spirit of Nick at Night.
Well, I mean, back in the day, like because I was watching TV Land as a kid a lot because I would watch Green Acres and stuff like that. Would that would that be in the fighting game? Like, could you play as Arnold Ziffel?
I don't think so, but
Okay.
I mean, it's your game. I don't know, man.
I mean, I kind of feel like if you're playing as Lassie and Flipper, yeah, Arnold is in there.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I feel like we're getting out of the Nick at
Or
Night
Mr.
lineup. I'd have
Ed.
to pull up the classic Nick at Night lineups. And it needs to also be a black and white fighting game.
Was
That's
Mr.
the
Ed
thing.
on Nick at Night?
Oh my God, I was just about to say, why have we not mentioned Mr. Ed?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Mr. Ed would be on Nick at Night. Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay, but actually, getting back to
Oh,
Nickelodeon
Mr. Ed.
cartoons, Johnny, what about
No.
the horse from Ren and Stimpy?
Yeah, I don't think he. I mean, I would love it if he's in this game. He's not. I think it's.
Oh.
I
No,
see
sir,
the
I
character.
don't like it.
I
Well,
see Ren and
there
Stimpy
there went
listed
my
as
joke.
playable.
So, if I remember, I can't remember because there was the first one and there was a second one, and they changed characters in between the games. Between the two games, I think you could play as Ren and Stimpy and Powdered Toast Man, but you could
Hmm.
never play as the horse.
It's a shame.
Yeah, damn shame.
Which, Johnny, I'm assuming that you have like the Wikipedia page for this game pulled up with the character list.
Johnny,
know.
no way.
I know XJ9 was playable in the first game. Is she playable in the sequel?
What show is that from? But also,
My Life
no.
as a Teenage Robot.
I see Jenny Wakeman listed.
Okay, yeah.
Is that like their code name?
Yeah, so XJ9, so she's a teenage robot in My Life as a Teenage Robot. XJ9 was her robot name, but she went by Jenny Wakeman. So
Okay.
cool. I'm glad that she's in the sequel. John just looks disgusted that I liked My Life as a Teenage Robot.
Yeah, I am, man. Sorry.
My Life as a Teenage Robot was a damn good show.
Yeah,
I will take your word on that forever.
I really can't get over what a range of years this show covers, because you got Ren and
Right.
Stimpy and which is one of the original Nicktoons, right? That's like
Really sucks that
1992.
You also have
Nickelodeon sold off-
Garfield.
It sucks they sold off Doug so long ago, man. There's some Doug characters that need to be in the mix.
Oh my god! Imagine playing as Roger Klein,
Honk,
I'm-
honk.
Roger who?
or what's his name? Is it not-
Klotz.
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 Roger Klotz.
Yeah.
Or yeah,
Or
what was
Mr. Dink.
what was
I
the
was
guy?
going to say, I was trying to think of his. Oh God, could you imagine playing as the mayor? Vote for me.
I'm just saying that Mr. Dink would pull out all his very expensive like gadgets and fight with them. Be
I
pretty
would,
good.
I would play as Pork Chop.
I mean, what would Pork Chop really do?
I don't care.
I
He's
mean,
a cool
really-
dog. He could just take a shit. I don't care.
But if you're having to pick a dog character, I'd probably go with Spunky from Rocket Power Life.
Yeah.
I was just saying this.
Between the
This
two.
is the sequel that we need.
Love
we need to
Rocco.
get Nickelodeon All Star Brawl plus Nick at Night, so we can have Spunky versus Pork Chop versus Lassie.
Ooh, there you go.
Team Spunky.
Yeah, I'm always Team Spunky.
I love Rocco.
would
That
be Team
show's the
Spunky.
best.
But yeah, I can't get over the range of year. Like, this game has something for everybody, because you go all the way back to the original Ninja Turtles and Garfield, so that's late 80s. And then you get you get into shows like Angry Beavers. I see Hey Arnold on here. Rocket's Modern Life, that was a bit later. SpongeBob, that was like more late 90s. Invader Zim, I forget when that came out.
Oh yeah,
It was like early 2000s.
Yeah.
And then shows I've
Invader
never
Zim's good.
There's a show called Danny Phantom. I think that's the thing.
Yeah, you got Danny. So Danny Phantom was in the original game, and this game added Ember McLean, which is kind of a weird pick, but also an awesome pick because she was like a So Danny Phantom is like a superhero ghost show. Ember McLean was like the ghost of a rock and roll singer who would shoot fire from her hair, but also have like a magic guitar that did crazy effects. I watched Nickelodeon way later into my life than anybody else here, apparently.
Yeah, you did, man.
Sorry,
Thank you for informing us. Yeah, sorry, Johnny, we haven't mentioned, are there any Fairly Odd Parents in this?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
No Fairly Odd Parents?
That's one of the like huge gaping holes because really Cosmo and Wanda should fucking be in this game.
Or, somebody from the show at least. Doug, the guy that owns the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
You mean Doug Dimsdale? No, Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome?
Yeah, you got it there. We got there eventually. His hat would take up the whole stage. Or maybe Doug Dimmadome could be like an assist trophy where he splits the stage with his giant hat and you can't get past him. I'd play that. But yeah, no, sorry, David. I don't have much knowledge or love of any Nickelodeon content post 2007.
I do.
How many Avatar characters are in this, Johnny?
Oh God, a couple. So one, I think the Legend of Korra.
Like 3.
The Legend of Korra is a spin-off of Avatar, right?
Yeah,
those are related.
Sure.
Okay, so you got Aang, you got Korra. Scanning.
You can play as Toph and Zuko, I think.
You can play as Zuko. I don't see Toph.
Okay,
I do
Toph
see
is
Toph
Iroh.
and Zuko is their full name.
I see Iroh in here. So yeah, four Last Airbender characters. But I really want to just point out, Hey HCO in the chat said, Wienerville stage. When I wish they would add a Welcome to Wienerville stage to this. I don't know if you guys remember that fucking puppet show.
That show was weird.
Yeah.
I think as a kid, I was like, I don't understand this. I hate it. But I bet if I watched it now, I'd be like, okay, Wienerville, you guys know what you're doing.
That's kind of how I feel about Ren and Stimpy. Like, I remember watching Ren and Stimpy as a kid. Like, I don't think this is for me.
That's weird because I only liked it as a kid. Going back to Ren and Stimpy as an adult feels wrong. I don't appreciate it anymore.
I appreciate parts of it.
Yeah, parts of it, but it's also just like, oh no, my grandmother was right. That shouldn't have been shown to us as kids. That was
you don't like
that was
close-ups
not
of
appropriate
boogers?
for me at 7 years old to be watching. Like, no.
My grandmother was right. She really didn't know how to suck eggs.
Happy,
Oh man.
happy.
Yeah.
I just
Log on her.
I had the Ren and Stimpy CD.
You
the
idiots.
Canadian Kilted Yaxman one.
Ooh.
Jesus.
That one was fucking good.
Anyway, I feel like this is now just going to continue to be a 90s Nickelodeon reminiscing hour.
Yeah.
Man. So obviously, Johnny, you haven't played the game, and I'm sure you have no intention of playing the game, but it does look like a pretty fun Smash Bros. Ripoff. I'm intrigued to play it should it ever approach the $5 level. I don't know. It's intriguing, but not so intriguing that I must pick it up. And I'm glad that my son hasn't noticed it, because he's on my Switch sometimes, and he can get into that shop. He doesn't have a credit card in there, but he can look around. He has not noticed the Nickelodeon game yet, or if he has, he's just internalized it and is going to spring it on me at some point. But
All right, what's your kid's email address? I'll send him a link to this.
yeah, careful. Yeah, keep it off the wish list. He does not need to know about this. But yeah, man. Johnny, do you have a dream character? I know we've done plenty of fake, characters being in the game. Do you have like a real dream character you would like to see show up in the game?
Oh man. I mean,
Like,
probably
and really think about Nickelodeon characters in a fighting game.
right. I would probably have to go with God. I mean, I do feel like the horse from the Ren and Stimpy show would actually be quite good. I don't know if you've ever been kicked by a horse, but I have a few times, and it's really not fun.
A few times. I got it out of my system after one.
Well, sometimes you got to pay for it.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta touch the hot stove twice. But anyways, but no, yeah. So the horse would actually probably be a pretty good fighting character. I would maybe also like to see Pigeon Man from Hey Arnold in this, or Mr. Wen. I feel like he'd be pretty good. His special could be reuniting with his daughter and making us all cry.
I was going to say, that's a heartbreaking reference, man.
Well, he was reunited eventually.
Yeah. No, it was sad, but happy at the end.
His super would either be reuniting with his daughter or performing a country western hit single.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jesse, what about you?
Is really, really big man in it?
He is not.
Okay, I would pick really, really big man.
Makes sense.
Solid.
He's a superhero. He's a fighting game character. It's right there.
And he's really, really big.
Mm-hmm. Does he do something with his nipples?
Yeah.
I was going to say, he's got like nipples of the future.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. He sucks your eyes with his nipples and makes you see the future. Yeah. David, what about you, man? Real dream character for fucking Nickelodeon 3.
I think I would have to go with a character from Action League Now from Kablam, which would be the Flesh.
Oh,
he's super strong and super naked.
I like Kablam.
I forgot about Kablam. Damn.
It's a good show.
That's a deep cut. Shit. Man, mine's not as good as that. I was just gonna say the face from Nick Jr.
Face.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a master hand situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gotta fight that face. Or if not him, then like, I don't know, David the Gnome.
Could you imagine?
God, yeah.
When I was a kid, I hated that trash.
I fucking love David the Gnome. What are you talking about, man? He wrote a fox.
I was like, they're trying to like teach me messages. I want to see close-ups of boogers and farts.
No, I was all about it, man. I can't remember.
Really
was he a little garden gnome that came to life, or was he just look like that? Was he just a gnome?
He was like an actual living magical gnome.
Because he had a wife.
Yeah,
right.
He rode around on a fox and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he's great. They should bring him in. Fucking, yeah, David the Gnome and his fox riding abilities. I don't know. God, I'm old. I'm old and so are my Nickelodeon tastes, and I'm okay with that.
Huh?
None of these teenage robots like David likes.
It was a good show. I
can't be heard to. I can't acknowledge a show about a female teenage robot and like, no. If it started when I was an adult, there's no way I can watch it.
I literally have the art book at my desk.
Okay.
It was a really good show. And if I recall correctly, like somebody was bitching at the creator on Twitter, like, why isn't this on DVD? It's like Nickelodeon owns the rights, so it's not up to me. Fucking yell at Nickelodeon. So really, fuck you, Nickelodeon.
Damn, took it there.
Hot take.
And not for the reasons that people have been hearing about on HBO. Fuck you, Nickelodeon, for not doing Teenage Robot Girl DVDs. Jesus.
It was a good show.
Again, if you say so.
Who's next?
Johnny got the most points. I think you have control of the board here.
Still me, huh?
Yeah.
Fuck. I don't know. Go with David.
Game 4.
Oh, thank God. Pee break. All right, so um, original promo art, as well as the initial trailer for this game, showed the main character to have a paler complexion. This was explained that it was caused due to a mistake by the lighting engine that they were using. When the actual game was released, the main character had a significantly darker complexion.
All right, I've got an answer.
Well, good. I was just about to ask if anybody had their answers.
Oh, yes.
So Johnny's ready. Jesse, John, are you ready? Jesse, you appear ready. John?
Sorry, I accidentally erased my answer. No, I don't know what to put.
I mean, honestly, it could be anything. All right, I've seen Jesse's answer, and
Read the
spoilers,
fucking answers.
it's incorrect. So Jesse says 8 crazy crabs. Sadly incorrect. John says Shantae, who cares? You know what? That is incorrect. Johnny has the correct answer. This is Shantae, half genie hero. This is the 4th game in the Shantae franchise. This was the first game that was kickstarted. So the Shantae series, the first 3 games kind of follow a cohesive story, and then they got to this one, and they were pretty much like, yeah, fuck it, let's just kind of like reboot everything and go back to our roots. So Pirate's Curse, which was the 3rd game, had Shantae lost her magical abilities and instead gained abilities through various pirate gear, like a pistol, a cannon, a giant oversized hat. This game brought it back to the basics where you dance to take different forms. You gain forms that were from the previous games, like you get to be a mermaid, a harpy, a monkey. But this game also introduced new forms like a bat and a rat a bat and a mouse and a crab. You actually get to play as Crab Shantae in this game.
Why
Is
is
it-
she so grumpy?
So she's not actually grumpy. She's actually very adorable. Like I said, this game was a game that was kickstarted. So backers actually got to vote on the final design for like different things. And one of them was actually people got to choose the preferred design for Crab Shantae. Unsurprisingly, I was a backer of this game, and I was very happy that my pick for Crab Shantae was the winner. Yeah, she's pretty cute. She can explore like underwater areas, and the mermaid version can kind of swim like wherever, but the crab version just kind of sinks to the bottom and explores like mazes on the ground. She also has a pincher attack, so she can separate certain barriers. She can wreck certain barriers and attack enemies underwater. Yeah, it's weird. Like the whole Shantae series it's a great series of games, but everyone kind of gets screwed. Like the first game is a solid game. It's a little too hard for its own good, but it's a fun game, and it was released for Game Boy Color in like 2003. Risky's Revenge, great game. It was on the DSi download service, so fucking nobody played it. Pirate's Curse, an amazing game, very dissimilar to all the other Shantae games. So it's like, yeah, this is a great game, but it's not really a Shantae game. Um, Half Genie Hero is a super fun fucking game, but it was Kickstartered. So, like, the first few levels, outstanding. The last few levels, kind of taper off in quality.
That's unfortunate.
I'm gonna take a shot in the dark that nobody else has played this game still to this day.
I've
Probably.
played The Pirate's Curse, end of list. I mean, I did play the first level of the Game Boy Color game, like on an emulator at some point in my life. But yeah, I played The Pirate's Curse, and that was a pretty fun game, but you just said it's different from all the others. I'm like, oh, am I going to like the other games?
Yeah, like, it's weird. Pirate's Curse is probably the best Shantae game, but it's like the least of all the series, because you don't get magical abilities. You don't dance to get different forms. The Shantae series typically has you exploring like one giant Metroidvania overworld, and Pirate's Curse is very like you go island to island to island. Great game, not a very Shantae game. But
if no one played the first two games, why does that matter?
Well, because they did have their own hook, and that was kind of brought back in Half Genie Hero. So, like, I don't know.
So the series is lacking a bit of an identity, is what you're saying. It's got the first two games that no one played, and then a game that was widely regarded as the best one that more people did play, and then they brought back the stuff from the first game for the Kickstarter game. So they're having trouble committing to kind of a set of ideas, it sounds like.
Well, no, because Seven Sirens came out after this. It was Shantae 5, and it had the same sort of like transforming. It was very much a classic Shantae game. Like, Pirate's Curse is really the outlier. It's weird that it happens to be like the best game. And even Seven Sirens, again, it's a great game, but it was developed for Apple Arcade and then ported to other systems. So it's kind of a simple, not difficult game. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but yeah, I don't know. Like, the whole series is just kind of weird in terms of how it's able to make their games. But I think, like, in my heart of hearts, I think that Pirate's Curse is the best game in the series, but I think Half Genie Hero might be my favorite.
That makes sense because it's an updated version of what you consider the classic versions of the game. So kind of makes sense that it would be your favorite.
And it because of the Kickstarter, like, it has a bunch of additional modes. There's like 5 or 6 stages in the main game, but then you can play through the game as Risky Boots, the main villain. You can play through it as Shantae's 3 friends, Bolo, Sky, and Roddy Tops, and you can switch between them and their different abilities. Yeah, there's a lot to this game. I had it as a Kickstarter backer on Wii U. I kind of want to double dip and get this on Switch because it is on Switch. It is perfect for Switch. And yeah, I kind of feel like I want to replay this game without dusting off my Wii U.
Can you like submit a support ticket or something with Way Forward and be like, hey, listen, I need my fucking Kickstarter reward, but I need it on Switch now?
You know what? I probably could.
I bet you can, right?
Yeah,
That's
they
how that
probably-
works.
They probably actually would do that. I bet if you did write to them, like, listen, I had this on Wii U. They just would be like, no further questions.
Yeah.
What do you want it on now? We get
That's how I
it.
keep getting free Shovel Knight after all these years. They
They'll
just keep
send
on
you a
giving me the
crab.
stuff.
But yeah, it's a really fun game. It's a really cute, charming 2D platformer. It's got really nice animations. You get to play as a crab. It's funny, like the second boss in this game is like this giant mermaid queen. And this game, I'm pretty sure, came out the same year as Cuphead did. And it feels like that, like, Phineas and Ferb meme. Like, if I had a nickel for every 2D platformer with a giant mermaid boss, I'd have 2 nickels, which is not a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice. Like, in 1 year, you had 2 games where you're just fighting giant fucking mermaids.
Man, that's the second time I've heard that today. It's almost like that Phineas and Ferb thing where the guy, he's like, if I had a nickel, I'd have 2 nickels, but it's weird that it happened twice.
David, I'm just curious. Who are you accusing of plagiarism in this case?
I'm accusing no one of plagiarism.
Okay,
I'm
not
just saying
you're
that-
desperate to fulfill Kickstarter goals, Shantae Company, or the the Cuphead guys who just kind of threw everything against the wall and forgot to make good levels to fit these boss fights in.
I'm just
Somebody's
saying
copying somebody else's homework. They're sharing notes.
it's weird that it happened twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So who's who's the Bill Hicks and who's the Dennis Miller of this situation?
I believe you
I mean,
mean
God,
Dennis
not Dennis
Leary?
Yeah, Dennis Leary. Oh my God. Yeah, no. The second Miller came out of my mouth, I'm like, that's not right. Fuck. The Dennis Leary. Never mind. This joke's dead.
I mean, Johnny, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but that was a really, really esoteric reference to make anyway. And for you to get the wrong Dennis in there really fucked it up. You're going deep cut, early 90s joke stealing stand-up comedian reference. And then you got the wrong Dennis. 2 N's in Dennis Miller, Johnny. 2 N's.
But all I'm saying is, if you have any interest in the Shantae series, I'd probably say Half Genie Hero is the best, like, first game to play.
Word.
John, I feel like it's still up to you to pick the next game.
Well,
It's the
there's-
fucking
what
there's
left?
there's left.
there's nothing to pick. I guess that's on me.
Game 5.
Fuck, man. All right, guys. So one of the supporting characters in this game is a middle-aged man in a red hat and a blue jacket named Sato, who is a parody of Ash Ketchum from the Pokemon franchise. Ash Ketchum's name in Japanese is Satoshi, just so you get that connection. That's the good stuff. Guys, who has an answer? Oh, wait, I forgot to clarify that trivia. Further context. Sato, the Ash Ketchum Pokemon reference, important to this game because he, one, shows you how to collect cards in the game, and two, he's obsessed with catching them all.
Oh, that's totally going to change my answer.
All right. Johnny drew a penis. Thanks, Johnny. It's been a while. Sadly incorrect. Jesse says the water crab. He's very close. And David says Crabbamon red plus blue. Sadly incorrect. No, guys, this is a little game called Dave the Diver.
I've heard really good things about this.
Yeah, I want to play this.
Yeah, man. I got to say, I'm sorry, guys. I've been kind of crabby all night. And, I've been a little snippy, a little shitty in the chat and on the show. And I just wasn't feeling it. But, man, hearing those tunes, it calmed me right down. It put me in a better mood. I probably should have played it much earlier in the show. It could have undone this terrible bit. But, man, oh, man, Dave the Diver is quite a game. So since you guys are Johnny or Jesse and David are both expressing regret at having not played it, I'm guessing Johnny hasn't played it.
Yeah, I have no regrets, but I also haven't played it.
Damn. I don't want anybody to feel regret about not playing it. I understand FOMO is a thing, but this game, man, this is like, I had heard of this, and this is like the perfect, like, don't worry about it, play it later game. Like, there's no, online component to this. There's no zeitgeist around it. It's just, you're playing as Dave. You're diving into the water. You're catching fish. It's, man, such a chill time, except when it's not. It's funny. I was told from, reading about this on the internet that this is a nice chill game. Like, you dive around, there's fish, you catch them, and then you make sushi with them. I was not informed that you would immediately be like shooting sharks and fending for your life with a harpoon gun. Like, it's there are moments in this game pretty immediately that are, I would say, non-chill. It's it gets a little daunting right off the bat, but then as you get a little better at the game, you earn a little bit of money, upgrade your stuff, you get a bigger oxygen tank, you can carry more fish with you, so you can catch more things. You get a better suit so you can dive deeper and discover new things, and you kind of learn the flow of things. You can craft some other weapons. It really becomes like just this really fun game of exploring and catching fish and running a sushi restaurant. And man, it's got its hooks in me, man. Hooks are in deep. I'm really, really digging this game. There is also, speaking of things that are not chill, running a sushi restaurant. I've worked in restaurants. It's been quite some time, but it's there are times when you're a little bit overwhelmed by the dinner rush, and it's like, oh fuck, this is not chill. Thankfully, the gameplay is divided up in such a way that, like, I don't know, the restaurant part goes by somewhat quickly, and it's over pretty fast. But there's still like some stressful times before you get like the right staff in there where you're serving all the food and pouring all the drinks yourself. And it's like, yeah, I kind of just wanted to swim around and look at the, gentle cuttlefish here. What the fuck, man? Why do I have to run a restaurant? This sucks.
I wouldn't expect the game to turn into the first season of The Bear. But
right.
That's what
and
this
it kind of
like.
does. Like, because you've got like this prima donna chef. You work for this guy, Boncho. He's like, you find out through the story, I guess he's not disgraced per se, but he was fired from a high profile chef job and moved out to the middle of nowhere to open his own restaurant. And you're his like fish catching guy. And you kind of have to deal with him being like, kind of an elitist in terms of food. And then you gotta catch fish, you gotta prep it, and then you gotta serve it, you gotta pour the drinks, you gotta scrub the fucking counter when people leave, you gotta fucking grate fresh wasabi for the chef so that he can keep cooking. It's like, fuck me, there's a lot going on here.
Do you get called cousin a lot throughout the game?
I wish, man. Yeah. Boncho doesn't really talk all that much. He kind of just sticks with one, there's no audible dialogue in the game. That's important.
Does he wear a hat?
No, he's a black guy with a bald head. He wears a little bandana and like some Leon the Professional sunglasses. Pretty cool looking dude.
How many times does Oliver Platt show up?
Is this just because I said Leon the Professional? I mean, come on, man. I was just trying to reference the sunglasses. But yeah, the game's it's a lot of fun, man. And they just, they keep on adding stuff to it. Like, I say adding stuff to it. Like, as you play the game, you're just given more and more things to do. And it's like, man, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot to manage, but I'm enjoying all of it. None of it feels terribly overwhelming. I'm not obsessed with like kind of like min-maxing in it like I would be in like a farming type game. Like, I don't know. I feel like I played Stardew Valley all wrong back in the day by like trying to get all the right crops and shit. And like, yeah, when I'm diving into the water, I'm trying to get like 3-star fish, but like I'm not really sweating it too bad. And there is an element of like anxiety if because you can get fucked up by like the sharks or by the other deep sea creatures, or you can run out of air and you get like rescued and you only get to keep like literally one piece of whatever you caught that day. And it's like, well, fuck me, I can't believe I just wasted a whole day of the game. Like, oh, this is gonna fucking screw the whole thing up. The restaurant's fucked. Like, I had a VIP guest at one point. He was like demanding that I make him a certain dish, and he left. I'm like, fuck, do I just not get to do that? Like, that seems important. The guy left, and then he just like came back a couple days later. I'm
Did
like,
he threaten to fight your bartender in the parking lot?
I mean, it hasn't come up yet, but it's it's bound to.
What I'm saying is Ric Flair showed up at your restaurant.
Oh yeah, yeah. He called my server Nicholas Dickhead and said he was on the pussy clock, and then he just fucking stormed out of there. Oh God,
That sounds awesome.
yeah. No, but it was like nice because again on the like, oh, I failed this mission. I'm like, oh, I'm completely fucked. Like, how? I don't even know. Was that important? And then turns out, no. The guy just comes back a couple days later. He's like, I want the fish now. Where's the fish? And then I had the fish for him. And turns out doing that mission like unlocked a new function in the kitchen that I didn't even want to be doing. So it was good that I got to delay it by a couple of days. It's it's a fun little game. There is the one unfortunate thing, and I don't want to like slam it too hard because it is the majority of like the story of the game. There's mermaids in the game. You discover an underwater civilization.
Question.
And yes.
Do you get to bang the mermaids?
Damn it!
I have
Johnny.
not gotten there yet, but given how all the characters react to Dave, and that is another thing that I'm gonna give this a little ding on. So sub ding to the mermaid thing. Dave, he's a big fat guy. I don't know if you guys ever seen any of like John Gabris's TV shows or listen to his podcast. Dave could be fucking John Gabris. He's a big rotund diving man with mustache and a fucking fedora on. He's a big fat guy. And a lot of the characters burn on him for being fat, which is just like, hey man, come on. Like I'm swimming like 300 meters underwater to fucking like fish and cook you guys dinner. What the fuck? Calm down. But the fish people, especially, they're like big and in shape. And I think when you meet them, they're like, oh, your name is Dave. In our language, that means toilet seat. And it's like, God damn, dog. Like, it's fucked up. But
Joke's on you. That's
I don't know.
kink.
I don't love the fish people inclusion. I kind of wanted it to just be like, I don't know,
Grounded.
not necessarily grounded, but like, dive and catch a fish, maybe deal with some pirates, maybe deal with some, there's like a Greenpeace guy that you keep butting heads with, which is funny because he's like, oh my God, I can't believe you're harvesting fish. And you have to have like a boss fight against him. There's a lot going on. I just feel like the fish people are a little silly. That's, but the game is a lot of fun. Really enjoying it.
Really ruins your suspension of disbelief.
Exactly. I like to believe that with a simple breathing tank and I don't know, a wetsuit upgrade, that any fat guy can dive hundreds of meters under the water and stay down there as long as he can continue finding treasure chests. Mer people are just, it's a little too far. But
well, I mean, you practice eating pussy and you can hold your breath for a while.
that's true. But Dave doesn't get that practice because everyone hates him because he's fat.
I got kicked
poor
out
guy.
of scuba classes because I kept asking him when we get to bang the mermaids, and
Exactly.
it's like, sorry.
Yeah,
So that's why to this day I'm still not scuba certified.
Yeah, and I kept on eating pussy, and then the women shot up real fast and got the bends, and it was terrible.
Oh God.
Uh,
Oh, what a way to go. Oh.
Die doing what she loved.
God. I gave her the bends.
I hate her pussy so hard she got the peds. Episode title.
Man, I hope that happens in Dave the Diver. That's probably a forthcoming DLC. It unlocks the muff.
Yeah. They had Godzilla DLC, so anything's possible.
That's cool. Yeah, I haven't. I know there's like some crossover DLC with like some other indie game, Dredge. But also, I say indie. This isn't even an indie game. It looks like an indie game. It's got a cute pixel art style. It's made by the fucking people that made Maple Story. It's like a big time Korean publisher that made this game. It's a really, really, secretly a big time game. Really fun game. And I haven't said a thing about a crab. I guess you guys all just assume there's crabs in this game because, it's a sushi themed game and there's seafood. But, I knew I was going to pick this for the show because I started playing this week. It came out on the PS Plus thing on PS5. and so I got it, on the, for the cost of my membership. I don't want to say free. And I knew I was going to pick it because there's a crab in the opening scene, and I thought that was, foreshadowing that there would be many crabs in the game. There are very few crabs in this game because you're diving in. It's not like it's not a shallows game. It's a diving game, so you don't encounter a whole lot of crabs. You get down to the depths. There's some of those big, long-legged, like Japanese spider crabs, which are kind of cool. But not a whole lot of crabs in the actual game. But the important thing about this game, the opening cutscene, starts out a beautiful, sun-drenched beach, waves lapping on the shore, Dave asleep in a fucking beach chair. He's, kind of spread out, and you see a cute little hermit crab crawling in the sand. Dave shifts around a little bit. It shows his legs kind of part a little bit. The crab is climbing up the chair. And then the crab crawls in between his legs and pinches him on the dick. And then he picks up the crab and he sets it back down in the sand and leaves alone. Then his phone rings and it's his friend saying, "Hey, come here. I got a business opportunity for you." I knew this was the game for tonight's show. And for me, when it started off with a big fat guy getting his dick pinched by a crab, I was like, well, there we go. Like, no matter what happens, we started with a crab pinching a man in the dick.
Story of my life.
I mean, at least
God, I'm so sorry, Jesse.
Yeah.
Well, what do you guys use for an alarm clock?
I mean, we're all from Florida, baby. We know how it goes. And, the point is, the message of the game is encouraging, man. There's nowhere to go but up after that. Dave starts with his dick in the pinchers of a fucking crab, and things can only get better, baby.
Yeah, I think that's the definition of rock bottom.
I mean, but that's the thing. His rock bottom is like him asleep on, I don't know if you guys have seen Porco Rosso. Picture the opening of Porco Rosso. Fucking this man's living in paradise. The fact that he's getting his dick pinched by a crab, he's fine with it. He doesn't freak out and throw the crab away. He just goes and sets the crab down and then goes off to his new fishing job, his diving thing. He's living the good life, man. Dave is a privileged guy, sleeping on the beach. Crabs pinching his dick, and the fact that no one respects him because he's fat, that's too bad. He has a very successful sushi restaurant by the end of it. So I don't know, man. I'm really digging the game. I'm probably gonna stick with it and finish it because I'm just enjoying it a lot. Like, the gameplay is a lot of fun. I like catching fish, and I'm curious to see how I continue to help these sea people, I guess. But I like I like the hiring of the people in the restaurant and like running the place and decorating and doing all the stuff. There's fish farming, there's vegetable farming now, there's card collecting with the Pokemon guy. There's all these little mini games. When your weapons guy that upgrades your weapons is like this fat otaku guy, who fucking, like, every now and then you get a mini game from him. It just cuts to his house and he's going to sleep and he's having an anime dream where he's at like a Hatsune Miku concert and he's doing a rhythm game. The game's got a lot going on. There's a lot of weird, fun stuff in the game. So, every time I think I'm getting a little bored with it, like, fish, serve the food, fish, it breaks it up with, a boat chase or a fucking rhythm game or, something. It's been a lot of fun. Just a real delight to play. Full recommendation. And again, just to make it clear, it starts with a man getting his dick pinched by a crab. So, good tunes, great vibes, crabs pinching dicks. What more do you need?
That's all.
Calculating computer activated.
You hear that like balloons, rubbing sound, like.
Oops. Scoring complete. This game's winner is John Harrington.
Wow. Fantastic. After all that crab dick talk, I still managed to win the show. I'm honored and surprised by this. And I don't feel like I deserve it. It's been a trying night. Going all the way back to the last episode when I forced us to do this theme instead of funky games. It's been a rough show. And I'm not going to accept tonight's win. I'm going to give my win to Jesse. Jesse, congratulations. You've won the show. You who refused to give a real answer on any of the games in the last several episodes.
No,
I'm giving you
okay.
tonight's win.
Okay, for
This
one.
game's winner is
Oh, fuck that.
Jesse Moore.
For one, I wasn't gonna bring it up because I didn't think it mattered until now. But I did guess Cool Spot, and I've been refused a point the entire show. But I did guess Cool Spot, and that was
Sorry.
motherfucking Cool Spot.
Okay, I misremembered. David got Cool Spot wrong. I gave David your point. My bad.
Yeah.
Point is, I won. You guys didn't. But I've been such a shithead. Jesse, I'm giving you tonight's win. Congratulations.
Cool.
Yeah. So you get to pick a theme for this next episode, and I won't even give you pushback if you choose funky games. I'm gonna wash my hands of the whole situation.
Fuck.
Lobster games,
Ooh, that's close.
shrimp games.
I'm more upset because I don't have bonus music.
Oh, I thought you did have bonus tunes. That's why I gave it to you.
Yeah.
I'm not giving it to David.
I was going to say I have a theme and bonus music. If Jesse, you want to give it to me,
Yeah, I'm
but
giving it to
clearly
David.
that's not going to happen according to
No.
so.
A win can only be regifted once.
So, well, Jesse can just pick some of these bonus tunes. I upload bonus tunes, even though technically I'm not supposed to win because I won last time. Yeah. So, Jesse, you can do my bonus tunes or David's bonus tunes either way, but you still get to pick a theme.
Yeah, first things first, pick the theme.
Oh boy.
The chat suggests pork products.
God damn it.
That's good.
What is it? I mean,
okay. Games in which there are cards.
All right.
So it can be like a card game. It could be a game in which your character collects cards, like in Dave the Diver. It could be, maybe you have a group of CD characters. Isn't that called a card? I don't know.
I think you're thinking of CAD.
Oh, but it's got an R in it.
cadre?
Yeah, cadre. There you go.
Yeah, not a card, but close enough. Jesse, I like that.
A game with wrestling matches, lined up, in a card.
Mm-hmm. Games inspired by the works of Orson Scott Card.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna say no on that particular version of the theme.
I mean, that's up to you. Okay, cool. Jesse, I like it. We're going to play some cards on next week's show. And man, oh man, I can't wait for Johnny to just pick the music that he listens to when he and his family played Go Fish or some shit. It's going to be really great.
I'm going to pick the music.
Should we make it clear, Jesse, that the theme is video games featuring cards?
No, I'm not clear.
No!
I'm going to pick the music we were playing when I played Cards Against Humanity with my family, and I had to explain what pixelated bukkake is to my mom.
Ooh, perfect.
That's what you get, baby.
Yeah. That's on me.
Yep. Should have seen it coming. Thanks. Jesse, good pick, man. Good theme. That's going to be fun. Card games with cards in them. Many options, many fun options for next week's episode. I dig it. Just like I ultimately dug this week's episode. What a show it was, guys. Thank you to everybody watching live with us. We're live every Wednesday night. We're on twitch.tv/GameThatTune. Check us out there. We love you guys being live with us, chatting along with us. We always enjoy that. Thank you to everybody checking us out in podcast form. Our podcasts are available Tuesday mornings at GameThatTune.com or anywhere that you get your podcasts. Be sure to subscribe to Game That Tune podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you to everybody checking out patreon.com/GameThatTune, the home for our awesome exclusives, and for you guys supporting us financially and keeping the lights on at our 24/7 video game music live stream at gttradio.com. The most awesome video game music video live stream on the internet. I'll say in history. A lot of fun things going over there at gttradio.com. There's new schedule things in the works. Johnny is rolling out a lot of fun changes. He's moving a lot of cheese, and it's going pretty great. But check us out, gttradio.com. Support us at patreon.com/GameThatTune. We love you guys supporting us. Special thanks, of course, to the absurd fans on Patreon. Talking about Daniel Perky, Taylor Y, Sam L, Phoenix Tier 2121, Beast Pond, and the Kerrigan. Fantastic group of people. Fantastic support that we get from them. We got a request tonight in our Discord. That was from Johnny. Shout him out.
Silver Nova.
Yes, Silver Nova. Fantastic request. Thank you so much. Again, Discord's the best place to make them. Check out the request channel there. Check out our Discord. We love hanging out with you guys there. And I think that does it. So, Jesse, it's the moment of truth. Are you choosing Johnny's bonus tunes, or are you choosing David's bonus tunes? Who's taking us home tonight?
Is there any way to play them both at the same time?
Oh,
I could just play them back to back.
No, at the same time.
No.
I would like to suggest that my bonus tunes are tied into a very specific theme I have in mind, so I would not encourage using my bonus tunes.
Oh, shit, David, that's a way
okay. Well, Jesse, then do with that information what you will. I know you can't resist.
My bonus tunes are pretty good.
Johnny.
Yeah.
Okay, Johnny, it's your bonus tunes tonight. What's taking us home?
I'd rather you just say peace out, everybody, and enjoy what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
If that's an option.
Okay.
It's going to be Lords of Acid, Show Me Your Pussy.
Like they said in Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 3, here it goes. Peace out, everybody.
Oh,
Hello,
yes.
boys and girls. This is your old pal, Stinky Whizzleteeth. This is a song about a whale. No! This is a song about being happy. That's right. It's the Happy, Happy, Joy, Joy song.
Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy, joy.
I don't think you're happy enough. That's right. I'll teach you to be happy. I'll teach your grandmother to suck eggs. Now, boys and girls, let's try it again.
Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy, joy.
If and you ain't the granddaddy of all liars, the little critters of nature, they don't know that they're ugly. That's very funny. A fly marrying a bumblebee. I told you I'd shoot, but you didn't believe me. Why didn't you believe me?
Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, 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 joy, joy, joy.